Well, hello again, and we are going to continue with our lesson about photosynthesis. So I want to write the learning target again. The learning target is I can explain the process of photosynthesis. So it's not just okay to say, well, photosynthesis is a process where plants make their own food. We need to be able to explain how they do this. So yesterday we had this learning target, or whenever you had the previous lesson, we had this learning target. I can explain the process of photosynthesis. We talked about how we have a recipe, for example, to make chocolate chip cookies, and the end result, if we follow the recipe correctly, we have chocolate chip cookies. We also read part of an article, and we talked about that the food that plants make, even though we call it sugar or glucose, is not the same as this sugar that we buy in the store. It is something different, okay? Glucose, a little bit related, but it's not this powdered sugar that we buy at the store, okay? So, when, for example, my dad invited us to his house the other day, and he cooked. He made some food. And we're talking about plants making food. When my dad made food, what did he really do? When your dad makes food, when your brother makes food, when your sister makes food, when you make food, are you really making food? Well, what we're really doing is cooking food that was already made, right? We grab the beans and we cook them. We grab the potatoes, we cook them. We take the egg and we cook it. So we are not really making food, we are really cooking food, okay? So think about when you're in the kitchen, how many of you cook? Many of you cook, right? So think about foods that you cook. Do you really make that food? No, we're really cooking food that was already made by plants. That was already made by plants in the process that we call photosynthesis, okay? So today, we are not just going to list ingredients. That's what we did for the other lesson. We listed all the ingredients in our card. Remember? All the ingredients. Today, we want to actually have the process, how those ingredients are put together to make the food, or for plants to make their own food. So for example, if you look over here, you will see that we have cups of sugar, butter, eggs, teaspoons of baking soda, chocolate chips. But what do we do with these ingredients once we have them listed? Do we put them in the fridge? Do we step on them? Do we just put them in a pot and stir them? Do we put them outside? What do we do with these ingredients? So yesterday we made the card and we realized that plants need sunlight, they need chlorophyll, they need carbon dioxide, and they need water to make glucose or sugar. So check your card that we did yesterday. You should have all those ingredients. Well, today we're going to work on the other side of the card right here, where we're going to have the process, the directions, how those ingredients interact with each other to make sugar or glucose, okay? So please take out the article that we read for the previous lesson, okay? And we are going to start reading on paragraph 4. Even though we already read it, we want to read it one more time. We're not going to read the first part, just the second part, okay? You have the articles out. Let's read together. Paragraph number 4. Photosynthesis occurs when a tree uses the sunlight comes from the sun, and chlorophyll comes from the cells of green plants to convert carbon dioxide that comes from the air and water that comes from the soil into glucose. The trees need to eat this glucose to grow, and we know it is eating because the leaves are turning green. It isn't the glucose which turns the leaves green. However, it is the chlorophyll, okay? So they're making their food so that they can eat it. Trees grow the most in the spring and summer, where there is a lot of sunshine. Every day, when fall begins, the day grows shorter and there is less sun. This lets the trees know to begin getting ready for winter. The leaves begin to turn red, orange, gold, and brown because with less sunlight and water for photosynthesis, the green chlorophyll begins to disappear. The leaf colors we see in the autumn have been in the leaves all along, but with so much green chlorophyll, we cannot see them until the chlorophyll is gone. As winter begins to approach, the tree uses the food it has stored during the spring and summer and goes into a period. Actually, the trees hibernate, just like the bears do. The only difference is that bears lie down in a cave to sleep, and trees lose all their leaves and stand up to sleep. So between 4 and 5, we can find the list of ingredients, but we can also see where they come from and how they blend together to make food, to make sugar and glucose. So today, I want you to take your index card and turn it around, and you're gonna write process, okay? And then you are going to write, using the article, how these ingredients, where they come from and how you put them together to make sugar and glucose. Well, not us, how the plants do that, okay? So do that right now, and then I'm going to go around helping you. I'm going to see if anybody needs any help. You can also raise your hand. And at the end, we are going to check to see if we have reached that target that you can explain the process of photosynthesis. So we should be able to explain what the ingredients are and where they come from and how they blend together to make sugar or glucose through the process of photosynthesis. Okay? So I'm going to be walking around and you are going to be working. Thank you.